Steak and chips, it's an awesome meal that everyone enjoys. But this way that I do it is a little bit healthier and it's absolutely packed full of flavour. Because for this steak, we're going to be using hanger steak. It's a cut that's just from the stomach. It's a really underused cut of beef. It's really good value and it tastes absolutely amazing. You can quick cook it or you can stew it for ages. So it's going to be perfect for what we're going to do. So first thing we need to do is get our chips on. Now I'm not going to be using potatoes today. I'm going to be using celeriac and then I'm also going to use a sweet potato. So first thing we need to do, this is a monster of a sweet potato. Cut the top off, cut the bottom off. And then we're going to peel around, get rid of all the outer skin. Get rid of those. And then just cut straight down there. And we're going to cut some nice big fat chips. Piece there. And then pile them back up. And then just cut through them again. There we go. Now it's really important if you're going to do a combination like I am with celeriac and sweet potato. You're going to cut this celeriac, make sure it's the same size as the sweet potato, then it'll cook at exactly the same time. So, same as before, cut all the way around, cut that root bottom off there, get rid of those. Get rid of that bit, and then just cut those into wedges as well. Now I've got a baking tray here, so we're not going to deep fry these at all. We're going to put them into a baking tray, kind of mix them all up a little bit. I'm going to add a full bulb of garlic, so just cut straight through the middle. It looks just like that, and then just chuck that in. That's going to add some really nice sort of fragrance, and then give it a good season. Plenty of black pepper, and then just a little bit of salt. You don't need much. And then a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. And then again, just get your hands in and just mix it all up. Make sure every bit of chip has got a little tiny bit of oil on, and then it'll get really nice and golden and crisp. Pop those into the oven, 180 degrees, for about 30 to 40 minutes, just until they're really nice, golden and crisp. So while our chips are in the oven cooking, I'm going to show you this great, simple tomato salad that's going to work really well with this dish. It's just going to give it a real sort of freshness and a kind of rawness because of the tomatoes. Got some big fat beef tomatoes here. So just cut them into sort of ½ centimetre slices. Now you can use any kind of tomato you want. It's just that I was in the shop, I saw these, they caught my eye, they looked awesome, they taste fantastic. That is the only reason why I'm using this tomato. So just get what looks good and tastes good. So a couple there will be fine. And then just lay them on the plate. This is a great dish for kind of big families, you know, or lots of friends around. You can just tuck in, do all this in advance. It's really nice if you can let this dish get up to room temperature. It tastes a lot better. Lay the tomatoes out. And then we'll build up the layers of seasoning. So, touch of salt all the way over those. A little bit of black pepper, and then I'm going to put some red wine vinegar on here and just let it all kind of steep and marry together while we top the salad. So put your thumb over the top of the bottle and then just a little splash on each tomato will be plenty. Then we need some red onions, probably one will be enough for this salad, and just cut that root off, cut the bottom off, and then we're just going to cut some really nice onion rings, really wafer thin if you can, because you don't want this to be a full-on sort of onion salad. This is a marry of flavours really, so you don't want to overpower it with really strong onions. And then just kind of break them up, press them onto the tomatoes. That's plenty. And then I've got some capers here. These are little pickled ones. These are going to taste amazing and give a real kind of burst of sharpness to the salad. So just get rid of the liquid. If you're using salted capers, make sure you wash them, because otherwise they will be really, really salty. And then just sprinkle those onto there. And then I want some parsley, just to give a nice bit of fragrance, bit of vibrance, a wonderful dash of colour. Just chop that up. Sprinkle that on. And then finally just finish with a touch of olive oil, don't need too much. And that's it, your salad's done. So just put it to one side and then we can cook the steak. So tomato salad's done, the chips are in the oven, all we need now is the steak. So I've let this get up to room temperature. It's quite important when you're cooking steaks kind of medium rare that you let it get up to room temperature. Otherwise it's cold in the middle and it's really not nice. So I've got these hanger steaks. I'm going to season them up a little bit. Not too much. Trying to cut down on the seasoning a bit. Touch of black pepper. Turn them over and do the same again. And then a little bit of olive oil onto the meat, not in the pan. That's really important. And then I've got a preheated grill pan. Smoking hot, really important. And then straight in the pan. So just lay them in away from you. And we're going to cook those for about 4 minutes on each side until they're medium rare. I'm going to cook these steaks for another 3 to 4 minutes on that side. While that's cooking, I'm just going to get some fresh rosemary. Just strip it all off. Now the reason why I didn't put this on straight away is I didn't want it to burn on the steak, so I'm going to put it on the last half of cooking. So just chop it all up. And then a sprinkle on each steak. It's just going to work really well. Rosemary and beef, now don't think about lamb with rosemary all the time. Rosemary and beef taste absolutely amazing together. It really, really works as a flavour. The steaks are just about cooked now. I'm going to knock the gas off and then I'm just going to finish them with a squeeze of lemon juice. And that'll just kind of freshen it all up a little bit. It'll lift all the flavour out of the pan and just kind of move it about a bit, grab all those flavours, and then we'll lift those steaks off and just let them rest for a minute before we carve them. So pop those on there. Any juices, just sit it on the steak there, yeah? It's all about building those levels of flavours and making the absolute most out of all the ingredients that you've got. So this celeriac and sweet potato chips are done. We'll just pop them, mix them all together and then just get a really good scoop of them. Put them straight on the plate. Make sure everyone gets a little bit of each one. And then we want a nice big wedge of this onion salad and these wonderful beef tomatoes. It's going to taste so nice this together. And this steak has just had a couple of minutes to rest, which is all it needs. It will make all the difference to you, I promise. So just get a knife and then just cut through the steak. You can see that's nice and pink, which is exactly how I like my steak. And then just pop it all on. And then grab as much as you like and then just sit it on the plate. All the juices have had time to kind of relax and the steak is going to be so tender and so flavoursome. And that is my steak dinner.